what is your message to young children and teenagers who are anxious or nervous about going back to school after these mass shootings?
Well, my message to young children going back to school is go and really study hard, and someday you'll grow up and maybe be president of the United States or do something else that's fantastic. They have nothing to fear. They have nothing to worry about. In addition, we're in constant contact with state governments, and they are really doing a great job. We have this so much better than it was 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago when I came in, it was really not a good situation. I think we have a very, very good system right now. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be some crazy person, but that's what we want to do. We want to take the guns out of the hands of crazy, demented, sick people.
It is so telling that when asked what Trump's message is for kids who are clearly scared in the wake of constant gun violence in this country, his answer is to study hard so that maybe, just maybe, they could end up like him one day. How about this? Study hard so you can learn that the earth revolves around the sun and not Donald Trump. He goes on to say that they have nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, which is a hard sell when mass shootings are happening not days, but hours apart now. Not to be a pessimist, but you do have to worry. And the reason is that one party who controls our government has opted to do nothing to fix it. Since the assault weapons ban expired, Republicans haven't done a single thing except allowing bump stocks to be banned, which, come on. Is the bar that low that we should be praising the banning of a device that allows your weapon to fire as fast as a fully automatic machine gun? Is that not common sense? But it went south from there, as Trump then claimed that it was so much worse 2 years ago, which is a very specific date that, just by coincidence I'm sure, was exactly when he took office. How about that? And the implication, per usual, is that it was worse under Obama. And that is some shameless gaslighting, considering A, Democrats lost control of Congress just 2 years into Obama's first term and couldn't pass any legislation unless it was bipartisan, and it was Republicans that blocked all gun reform measures, and B, Trump actually eliminated gun safety measures from the Obama era when he took office. Which brings me to the most infuriating part of all of this, because Trump said this specifically.
We want to take the guns out of the hands of crazy, demented, sick people.
And yet he rolled back an Obama-era regulation that was intended to keep guns out of the hands of the mentally ill. That bill, House Joint Resolution 40, was passed by the Republican-controlled House and Senate. Think about that. Trump is taking credit for making us safer than the Obama years, especially when it comes to the mentally ill having access to guns, when he's made us less safe than the Obama years, specifically with regard to the mentally ill having access to guns. That is truly next-level, insidious lying, and it speaks volumes about just how dumb Republican politicians believe their voters are. And of course, it all comes down to money. Gun lobbies fund Republicans at an exponentially higher rate than Democrats, especially considering that funding for the left is virtually non-existent now. In fact, the top 20 recipients of funding from the gun lobby are all Republicans, with donations ranging into nearly the $1 million range per candidate in just one election cycle. And it's all for moments like this, when, despite a staggering 94% of Americans supporting common sense gun safety measures like universal background checks, we're still getting the runaround from Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell still refuses to reconvene the Senate to vote on bills like H.R. 8, the Bipartisan Universal Background Checks Act of 2019, which passed the House 6 months ago and has been languishing in the Senate ever since. And just today, Trump reminded us that the NRA will have a seat at the table and be considered in his decision-making. Yep, we wouldn't want the guys who profit from gun sales not to have their voices heard loud and clear too. And so it's become obvious that Trump and the rest of the Republican Party have no qualms preaching about wanting to keep Americans safer while ensuring that nothing in this country actually changes. They're clearly more interested in protecting their campaign donations than their constituents. And the only reason is that they are
crazy, demented, sick people.